any kind of a storytelling form. And they're great technicians, film schools. If one thing the film schools teach you very well is cinematography, editing, all the other aspects of cinema.
Yeah.
What really is lacking is great producers.
Yeah, okay.
It's the most important thing is great producers. When I say great producers, I mean producers who are not producing a film only because they can, or producers who are not producing film only because they want to just participate in this whole movement of I also made a hit film, and
I am also part of the movement.
So when I say producer is there from the inception of the film. He begins with the scriptwriter and the director, and they put all the blocks that come together to make a building. And every time I have had a good producer, the film has turned out great. And it's not that, and every time my film did not function or got lost, I didn't have 100% producer behind me. It's not really the producer that pulls the film down. The producer empowers you. I'm saying when you see family, the way the credit of the film is actually, if you see how the family is stitched together, taped together, explains what this film is all about. And similarly, the next film, Paradise, is anything but paradise.
True. I agree.
And to step up and put it together, to have a filmmaker like Don, and you see the hard work, because it's only after discussing I found out he workshopped. How do you hold on to a frame with so many characters and so many things happening, where every performance hits the right note, and take it right till the end? It needs courage. It's very easy to lose courage and say, okay, I'll cut to this and cut to that. But Don has that courage, and his actors give him that courage. His producers impart that courage. They said, we've got your back.
Yeah.
And that's how good films come together. So
everybody has to pull the string, but some have to pull it a little stronger.
Yeah, and for me it's like I have always, Ranjan has been there for forever, I know. And he's testament to that how much we need really good visionary producers to change cinema, to make cinema, to do everything. And which is either great to all of them, because they're not from the industry.
And I was just saying that discipline that they bring in, or the structure that they bring in from their backgrounds also makes a change when you work with them. Because I've also experienced it.
No, it's also because Newton cinema is not one person.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
I'm saying it's a passion of actually people who are bound to each other by passion of cinema and also as family. And keeping a check on everybody has their own skill sets that they bring in, and everybody brings in their own vision or view to it. But when you have a unit and not an individual, there are less chances to fail.
Beautiful. Conversations going about around people putting out reviews about films online, offline, everywhere, and maybe their creators, there is YouTube and all of that. So there's a conversation going around about whether is that a good situation that we're in, or is that a bad situation that we're in, and he's asking you what your thoughts are about it.
I think because in today's day and age, I don't take film criticism very seriously, because everybody's a film critic now. On social media, everybody's a film critic. I look for discerning film critics, the film critics that really matter to me. I only read them. Rest everything is opinion. Everything, and people are absolutely okay. I'm absolutely okay with people having their opinion, but it is not good for the health of the film business. But you know what? Negative criticism cannot destroy a good film. It cannot destroy a good film. I will talk with example in the sense. There's a recent movie, Malayalam movie, that I saw and I loved very much for its brevity and somebody trying to do something new. And I heard, I have not read it, because a lot of people were putting the film down. And it's a very new approach to just somebody going out there and saying, I want to make a Western. Malaikottaivaaliban, I'm talking about that film. And I actually saw the film on screen. And I loved the film. So the thing is, yes, a lot of people would come from being the fanboy. I've been a filmmaker who made a film with a star, whose fans were disappointed that he did a film with me. My fans were disappointed I sold out and made a film with a star. You know, the two-side disappointments really is not something I cater to, because you know, you're walking into cinema with expectations. So you already have decided what film you want to watch. You're not really watching the film that's on screen. And for me, that's the biggest problem that I face today, because me as an audience, when I go in with a blank mind. I go and see Malaikottaivaaliban. I'm not going to see Angamari Diaries. I'm not going to see Himayu. I'm going to see Malaikottaivaaliban. I'm going to see what Lijo has done this time. I want to see how Mohanlal has pulled off action scenes. I want to see all those other things. I want to see what's there in front of me. It's like you're going in to somebody's house and you said, you know, you got masala dosa and sambar, and you say, oh, but I expected beef. You know, that's the kind of a mindset that people go in to watch a film. It really destroys the film business. You know, in film business, what happens when a film works? Any film that works, whether it's mainstream, I might not agree to it or disagree to it. It helps every other film works. It will help a family. It will help audience to go watch other films. So I have that kind of a criticism of when you see a film, but this is not like the Mohanlal we expected, or this is not like the Lijo we expected. The problem is your expectation, the problem is you. It's not Mohanlal or Lijo. That's what I want to say. You know, Pauline Kael was the champions of cinema. What I do, when I don't like a film, I'll be quiet about it. I won't say anything. But when I like a film, I shout.
Yeah.
I shout. I will shout and I'll fight for it, and I'll defend it, and I'll do everything.
Because that's how we can holistically do something different.
If you love cinema and you're part of it, that's what I think you must do. When you like a film, shout about it. Say why you loved it and why you liked it. You don't like a film, don't trash it. Be quiet now, because that film also is taking as much hard work as the other film. I'm saying literally when you go out and trash it, because literally I always say it's always your expectations that disappoint you. It's not the other thing.
It's a you problem.
The problem is always the individual.
Understood. Do we have other questions? Mic undo avade?
So nowadays we see more commercial films, more realistic films, but we are lacking like artistic films. You know, we are not experiencing like this film like family on theaters now. Is it because we are more into more realistic, more violence?
No, it's not. Films are there. Films are there. The thing is, if you go and see a film like this, you'll get more films like that on cinemas. It's like voting. I always say, you know, you get what you vote for. You get the policing you choose.
Emphasizing on that.
You eat the food you pay for, right?
Yeah.
So if cinema is food for the soul, if this fills your soul and you go and watch it, you'll get more of it. So I'm saying it generally is only about you can't, at the end of the day when we step out of the room and we get into theaters, it's mostly about business. All arts have patrons. And cinema is an art form which is slightly more expensive than painting, right? But there used to be patrons for it, and there are less patrons of the art form that is cinema. So it sometimes doesn't survive without patrons. We go to a museum that helps art survive, and otherwise people will not look at it, right? So cinema also, the good cinema will eventually survive. It's not going to, everything else is a trend. Everything else is a trend. Trends will come and go. Good cinema will survive. You take a good film from the 80s, you can still watch it. But you take the film that was the biggest hit in the 80s and was just part of a trend, might not hold today. So it's not like that, but yeah, the business also needs to survive. For that you have to, that's why I say start championing it, start voting for it. Make sure you go and buy a ticket and watch the film. That's the only way you can do it. You can't do it by complaining on Twitter.
So you are a wonderful director and actor, but in Leo, you just acted too.
That was a personal joke.
That was a personal joke, is it?
Yeah, that was a personal joke. It was just a personal joke. We just wanted to do it. And I think that's the liberty that it is, because we don't do everything because our lives and careers depend on it. We do it for fun. You should have fun sometimes.
That's great.
Some things are just that simple, isn't it? I'm always curious, which is the first Malayalam movie you watched and what made you watch that film? Because it's a different language, it's a whole different scenario altogether.
I don't remember the name of the first Malayalam film I watched. I saw it at a film festival in Delhi back then. I know it was a John Abraham film. I don't know the name.
Alright, that's
I
okay.
don't know the
That's
name
okay.
of
No
the film. As
problem.
a kid, I was 19 years old, 18, 19 years old. I did not even know who it was. It took me a lot of years to find out it was made by John Abraham. Then I went to FTI. Then they told me about his other films and his whole life story. It took me 11 years to discover the film that I saw who the director was. So
But
I saw it as a child.
It came around though, that's okay. At least it came around, we figured it out.
Yeah, now it's more. Now I can see a lot more things. And
Alright.
I'm also working with Film Heritage Foundation, like supporting them to restore a lot of old Malayalam classics.
Thank you for that, 100%. Thank you for doing that.
നമ്മുടെ ഇന്ത്യയിൽ പ്രൊപ്പഗണ്ട ബേസ് ചെയ്ത പടങ്ങൾ ഇൻഡസ്ട്രിയിൽ കൂടി വരുന്നുണ്ട്. ആസ് എ ഫിലിം മേക്കർ എങ്ങനെയാണ് കാണുന്നത്?
I don't look at it. I refuse to look at it. Because there are lots of opportunists out there. So they are the people who will change with everything to make money. There are opportunists who just will go along with anything to make money. And by not looking at it, you'll make sure that they don't do those things. That's all. In the sense, just don't look at it. And you get what you consume. If you consume it, it'll work. But out of 20 propaganda films, only 2 have worked. So there is hope.
So on that note, thank you so much, sir, for your time once again. And this was a fantastic session. I think we could go on forever, but you don't have forever. So we're going to let you go with that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.